Pokemon Black is one of my favorite games of all time, so naturally, I asked myself, what if I beat my favorite game with my least favorite Pokemon? Now, obviously, my least favorite Pokemon are Reshiram, Zekrom, Kyurem. Okay, I'm kidding. Truth is, I like pretty much everything in Unova. So, instead of picking Pokemon that I hate, I picked ones I just wouldn't rank very high. And that gave me this incredible team. One quick note, because I value my time and sanity, I use rare candies to skip grinding. I kept my levels around that of each major fight, and only overleveled if I got completely destroyed. Which definitely happened. The adventure began with a gift from Professor Juniper. I like that name. Juniper. I think we'll get along nicely. She gave me a Tepig. Yeah, we're not getting along. I named it Lechonk, because that's a pig Pokemon I actually like. I set off on Route 1 and caught the second member of my team, Patrat. I named it Tax Fraud, because look at Watchog. Tell me that thing pays taxes. I made it to Accumula Town and listened to some guy talk about something, and then battled the finest man I've ever seen. He's a yapper. I respect that. Early game was pretty smooth. I got my first badge, learned that cut is unfortunately mandatory, and permanently ruined my Patrat in the process. Team Plasma showed up, said some words, stole a Pokemon, and gave it back after about 30 seconds of resistance. Lenora was a problem. I thought, I have a fighting move, this'll be easy. It was not easy. I lost. Which is impressive considering I don't usually struggle on this battle. After a bit of planning and a bit of leveling up, I managed to defeat her. Team Plasma stole something, and Berg led me to Pinwheel Forest. But he didn't send me down the easy path. He sent me down the one filled with trainers, while he took the shortcut. Great guy. Castelia was quick, Team Plasma gave up immediately again, and Berg got swept because I actually had good matchups for this one. I picked up a Dwebble named Goofy Odd Bug, and Gar caught up. In Nimbasa City, I went on Ferris wheel with N, which is either a date or the start of a villain monologue. It was both. I beat Elisa, ignored the musical entirely, and moved on with my life. Clay made me deal with Team Plasma again before fighting him, which is starting to feel like unpaid labor. Honestly, that wasn't too bad. I went and challenged the gym, and Clay fell with very little issue. Chargestone Cave happened, N showed up again, and at this point I'm pretty sure he just lives in the walls. He said something philosophical, I think. He talks too fast, so I just kinda laughed and hoped it wasn't a question. In Celestial Tower, I caught an LGM. I named it Nice Hat, because BHM has a nice hat. I took on Skyla's gym, and all I got was this badge and a concussion. Towards the end of Twist Mountain, I picked up a Cubchoo, and I'll be honest, I stopped trying with names at this point. But Beartick looks like I would if I wore wet socks, so that's what we're going with. From here, things move pretty fast. Bryson went down easily because he's an Ice-type gym leader. I picked up a Druddigon that I didn't even bother naming, which really says a lot about where we're at. Did some backtracking for the Lightstone, beat Drayden, and head for the Pokemon League. I made it through Victory Road, stocked up on items, and took on the Elite Four, which actually went surprisingly smoothly. I was ready for the champion, my moment to prove myself, but instead, I had to climb an entire castle. At the top, N confronted me and Reshiram appeared. I immediately caught it with a Master Ball, and then boxed it. Because Reshiram is actually one of my favorite Pokemon. I beat N without too much trouble, but Getsus was a different story. He absolutely destroyed me the first few times, which, to be fair, is kind of what happens when your team is this and his team is this. Hey, wait a minute. How come he gets an underleveled Hydreigon? Not fair. But after a few attempts, and probably too many healing items, I finally took him down. N gave his farewell speech, disappeared, and credits rolled. Now, after all of this, using all 6 of these Pokemon, I had one final question. Did I end up liking any of them more? Nah.